Hi, welcome back to another episode of Unboxing Entrepreneurship with Pallavi. As companies grow, founders have to share their vision with other departments and they have to understand the data that other departments are sharing with them. What kind of qualities are required for founders to work in areas that they have no knowledge about? I'm going to talk to Mohit Mohapatra, the founder and CEO of NaturePro Shop. Let's get right into it. Hi Mohit, welcome to Unboxing Entrepreneurship with Pallavi.
Thank you so much, Pallavi, for having me here in your unboxing entrepreneurship podcast, right? As Pallavi, you introduced me. My name is Mohit Mohapatra, and I'm the founder and CEO of NaturePro Organic Sciences Private Limited. We are India's first and only 100% sustainable and net zero consumer brand in the beauty and personal care category, right? So we started our operations in 2022. We have a few feathers up in Nature Pro's cap. In the first year of operations, we were recognized by Your Story as a top 500 challenger D2C brands. In the second year of operations, that is last year, we received an editorial D2C Revolution Awards by Exchange for Media. That's a large media conglomerate in India. Apart from that, we were also the only consumer brand to represent India at COP27 in
Mm.
November 2022. Yeah.
Mm.
So this is a bit about me and Nature Pro, right? Still a long way to go. Again,
Yeah,
thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
you're welcome. I'm looking forward to the conversation that we are going to have. You said your brand is only 2 years old, but clearly you have a long professional history before that. Would you like to share what you've done before your startup?
Absolutely, absolutely, Pallavi. So I'm just going to take it a little backward, right? So
Hmm.
I am a computer science engineer by heart, right?
Hmm.
Post which I have two failed startups. So I
Hmm.
started my entrepreneur journey back in 2014,
Hmm.
2014 time when we launched a 30-minute grocery delivery startup in a tier two city back then in Bhubaneswar in the state of
Uh,
Odisha.
uh,
And clearly the market was not ready for it. So it was a big failure for us, right?
hmm.
Having said that, we moved to one more post that even my second startup was a failure.
Hmm.
Post that, I thought I should actually get some business knowledge. So that is when I wrote my CAT examinations and I did my MBA from Xavier's Institute of Management in Bhubaneswar, Odisha. After that, I started working with a few unicorns in the country.
Hmm.
I would refrain from naming the companies, uh,
Hmm.
but I worked completely on business development and digital initiatives
I see.
for two unicorns in the education technology space, right? And I think it was the time of COVID, just post COVID, I took a larger decision of my life to sort of leave a cushy corporate high paying job and start something of my own, right? So the initial idea was I'm going to stop working from 10 to 7 and I'm going to be my owner of my work time. I'm going to have a great work life balance. Okay.
Yes.
Only to my dismay and understanding that it's the absolute opposite, right?
Yes.
So once I started the entrepreneur journey, right?
Hmm.
Uh, it was not 10 to 7 anymore. It was morning 6 to the next day morning 6, right?
Yes.
That's how life has been full of, ups and downs and crazy things happening. But having said that, it's a learning curve, right? And I absolutely love what I'm doing, and hence we're still doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I get all my great ideas at 4 a.m. in the morning when I'm woken up by, other sounds outside my house.
Right.
I agree that as much as we think that this is going to be a much more organized and, we are so much more in control of our time. Yes, we are. But it really consumes you, right? When you have your own business, it really consumes you. And in a good way, I feel.
Absolutely.
If you're enjoying it, then that's great. So when
So
we were
Pallavi,
talking,
I just
yes.
wanted to add a very small thing over here. So if you see, everyone talks about discipline, right?
Hmm.
You need to have a certain kind of discipline as an entrepreneur, right?
Hmm.
So I feel my discipline is not sleeping early in the night, right? So
Hmm.
I have a particular routine. So I sleep late at night and I'm up by probably 8:30 in the morning, right? So
Hmm.
that is my own discipline. People might
Yeah.
have a different discipline that I go to bed at 10, get up at 4 in
Hmm.
the morning, right?
Hmm.
Uh, I probably have a discipline where I go to bed at 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning and I'm up by 9 so that
Yeah.
5 hours of my sleep is complete. Even that is discipline if you do that every day, right?
Yeah.
So people have different perspectives of how discipline can be a part of their lives. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, when we were talking about the what to discuss and we were sharing our journeys with each other, I thought you brought up a great point, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. Um, as founders, I guess we have to know everything. And I know it sounds like a really hard task that, how can you know everything? Because we've obviously been trained in one thing, we've studied something else, maybe we have work experience in maybe a third thing, let's say three things we know. But we don't know everything about every single department, right? And I feel
Yeah.
that in the time that I have been a founder, I can't afford to have some function of my company which is a complete black box for me. I have to know what goes inside because that is what I guess really helps us to plan where our business is going. And I'm not talking about micromanaging here, I'm talking about understanding the function. So you had some
Absolutely.
examples to share, but before we get to that, you've had three startups. So have you felt that there were particular areas where you didn't have that knowledge, and what did you feel when you came across that situation?
Absolutely. So Pallavi, I feel I am a numbers and operations guy. Okay.
Mm,
I'm great with numbers. I'm great at execution, right?
mm,
But now if you talk from a brand building perspective, okay, I might not be the most creative of people you would ever
mm,
come across. Okay.
mm,
What for me, what a brand definition is something that has a very large revenue. Again,
mm.
a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
So we've made sure because we are a consumer brand, we made sure that our branding and digital teams are very strong
Mm,
and are very robust, right?
mm,
So what happens? The gap that I have, okay,
mm,
I can learn from these experts. For example, one of our teammates, the CMO basically of my company, has a
mm,
very vast 8.5 years of experience in digital branding and digital marketing. Okay.
mm,
He used to be the former AVP for HSBC, media buying
mm, mm,
and
mm,
performance marketing, right?
mm.
So now what I've done is, although I have learned a little bit of performance marketing from him, right?
Mm,
But I've given him full control of that vertical, right?
mm,
As you mentioned, you don't have to micromanage. You
mm,
just have to make sure that the team is properly aligned with the sort of outcomes that, as a founder, you envision, right?
yes.
And if they see a similar kind of alignment with your vision, then they're going to
Mm,
do it for you.
mm,
But having said that, I also feel as founders, we should at least know a little bit of everything that is happening. I'll tell you why. Uh, Imagine I did not have any idea about performance marketing, right?
mm,
And my performance marketing lead would come back to me with any kind of data, right?
yeah.
I would have just told him, okay, fine, whatever is happening, right? But now that I know what a CPM is, what a CPC is,
Mm,
what a customer acquisition cost is, what is the top
mm,
of the funnel, mid of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, what are
mm,
conversion rates, I'm able to ask these questions to him to
mm,
understand if he's taking a right approach, right?
mm,
So
mm,
that in a way as founders, we should know all of these things, right? First, say HR, okay?
Mm.
So we have a HR person also, right? So now I have to sit with the HR to build policies of the company because
Mm.
culture is derived from the founder, right?
Yes.
However the founder works, the employees are going to work like that,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
If I don't work for a week, my employees will also not work. They'll be like, the
Mm.
founder is not working, why should we work? So again, for
Mm.
HR perspective, also as a founder, we have to sit with the HR and
Mm.
build policies, build employee engagement programs, improvement
Mm.
programs, and all of that, right? So
Mm.
that also becomes very important. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely the founder needs to know everything or little bit about every function. And as you say, it
Yeah.
is important because you don't want to look at certain data which really affects the bottom line of your business and pass it through just because you don't understand it. Having said that,
Absolutely.
I feel that one of the very important qualities of a founder, first is of course to know that you have gaps in your knowledge. Like you very clearly said that you have a gap in the marketing side or the brand building side, but you're very good with numbers.
Yeah.
So I think for a founder, the first thing is to really know that okay, this is my strength and this is my weakness, and the next thing is to actually do something about it. So there could be two ways that let's say you don't know anything about HR or you don't know anything about performance marketing, you could gain that knowledge on your own, or you could ask the right questions. And in the second case, you have to be really humble because you want them to explain to you what is CPM. So which approach works for you? What really gets you into that knowledgeable
So,
space?
Pallavi, I think the second approach works for me, right? See, I'll tell you, as founders, if you look at few of the largest companies in the world, okay, I'll give you a very classic example, okay. If you look at Steve Jobs,
Mm.
neither did he know coding,
Mm.
neither did he know designing, neither did he know brand building. He did not
Mm.
know any of that. He just knew one thing. He knew how to
Mm.
sell products, right?
Mm.
But he was a very humble guy who used to bring in good people, right,
Yeah.
to bridge those gaps that he has as a
Mm.
founder, right? So I have done a very similar thing. Okay, so
Mm.
for Nature Pro, we've done a very similar thing. Per se,
Mm.
if I do not know e-commerce marketplace marketing, selling
Mm.
products on e-commerce marketplaces, so we hired someone who has been doing that for the past 4.5 years, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you give your vision to that person, if you take, let's say, 30% of my vision, that is
Mm.
building a brand on marketplaces. Now,
Mm.
you are the owner of the vision, right?
Mm.
You are the owner of anything that happens at marketplaces for Nature Pro, right?
Mm. Mm.
This
Mm.
gives a sense of conviction and ownership to that person, right? So
Mm.
you're
Mm.
not bringing him or her as an employee, you're
Mm.
bringing him or her as an owner of that particular product
Mm.
or category or channel. Okay. I
Mm.
think that helps to boost the confidence of that person, right?
Mm.
Also, when they become a part of your vision, when you give your 30% vision to them,
Yeah.
so it's certainly a marriage, right? So you
Mm.
come together, right? You
Mm.
might be looking at the overall scheme of things, right?
Mm.
But at a channel level, he's gonna tell you, and he's gonna come and tell you, Amazon is giving you this much, Flipkart is giving you this much, Nykaa is giving you this much, and he's doing
Mm.
all of that data crunching for you,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So I think giving that sense of ownership to your early teams, to your
Mm.
founding teams, to your leadership
Mm.
and mid-senior leadership teams is very important. Only
Mm.
then you'll be able to successfully build something really large and valuable. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of founders struggle with that, right? A lot of founders find it very hard to share their vision. I mean, and by share, I don't mean just, inform someone of the vision, but literally to say that I can make you a part of the vision. You bring your expertise in your area and, let's together execute this. And I think that is very, very important for a founder to continuously contribute to the company's growth. They have to start letting go. They have to start distributing the load and getting input from other people, and at the same time need to start
absolutely.
building up their knowledge about different areas as well.
Absolutely. So, Pallavi, I'll tell you a very interesting approach that we have at Nature Pro.
Hmm.
While we were building the founding team, okay,
Hmm.
I had already raised a small angel round back then, okay,
Hmm.
and we were actively hiring for the founding team, okay. So what we've done, we have close to about 5 people in the founding team. Okay,
Mm,
and excluding me. So
mm,
what we did was I wanted skin in the game from all of these people in the founding team, some initial ownership of equity. So we
mm,
did a very sort of strategic friends and family round, right?
mm,
Wherein we did not ask them for a lot of money. We asked for like few chunks. I mean, close to about a lakh or 2 lakh or something like that, right?
mm,
But what this worked in our favor. I'll tell you how. So
mm,
we gave them an initial upfront equity in the company,
mm,
right?
mm,
So now they felt that this was their company,
mm,
right?
mm,
First.
mm.
Second, what happened because they've also put in a lakh or 2 lakh, nobody wants to lose their money, right?
Yeah.
So they made sure that they optimize all the sort of verticals that they are working with.
Mm,
So I think
mm,
this has actually worked in our favor, right?
mm.
And why not? See, it's a shared value that we want to build, right? You cannot build a company. How many sole proprietorships are very large?
Yeah.
Cannot be, right?
Yes.
It has to be a private limited, and probably way ahead, it has to be a public limited, right? And that's how
Mm.
you grow, right?
Yes.
So yeah, we've taken that approach.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so this was a good conversation. We talked about how the founder has to know a lot of different things about different departments, how we can actually achieve that, what are the qualities one must have, and you've given
Yeah,
an example of how you've done it. What are you looking forward to in this 2024? What's happening for you this year?
absolutely. So Pallavi, we are looking to launch another brand next month
Mm.
itself, right?
Mm.
The only reason we are able to build another brand is because we build that in-house team, be it
Yes.
R&D, be it the digital GTM team, right? It's the same team that's working on another brand right now. Okay. So
Mm.
it becomes easier for us to position ourselves as a house of brands
Yeah.
model, right?
Yeah.
Second thing, we are obviously raising a strategic round because we also want to develop other channels, revenue channels for us. Probably we would foray into retail. We would also foray into the professional category per se. We would come up with products for salons, right? Because
Mm.
that is also a very fragmented and unorganized market in India. So if you can come up with good products that are of professional quality, I think that's a major chunk of business that we're looking at. And I feel these retail and salon channels would be my cash cows, right?
Yes.
So see, D2C brand building, it's a long-term game, right? We cannot become a brand in 2 years. Takes a
Yeah.
minimum of a decade to become a brand. That's how people remember you. That's how the
Mm.
brand recall value is very strong, right?
Yes.
So I think that's a long-term game. But in the meanwhile, as I mentioned, because I'm a numbers guy, I always want to make sure that my sort of run rate is runway. We have a very good runway,
Mm.
and we have certain aspects, certain channels that become EBITDA positive as fast as possible. Yeah.
Some good, very good goals to have, and I wish you all the very best for the new brand launch that you're doing this year.
Thank you so much, Pallavi. We are launching the brand at the Bangalore Fashion Week that is to take place in March. Yeah. We just finalized things yesterday with them. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so thank you so much, Mohit, for sharing your insights today and for making time to come on the show. It was lovely chatting with you.
Absolutely, Pallavi. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day and thank you for having me in your show.
Absolutely. Bye.